bag left.
What do you say we go out for the evening and see what we can find?
Sounds good to me.
You promised me one like 16 inches or something.
I don't think I made that promise.
Here I am, I'm in what I'll call south central Wyoming. I have an antelope tag in this area that it's pretty much all BLM ground. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Terry Meyers from Colorado.
My role in this hunt was to help Randy spot antelope, help Randy judge antelope.
Of all we've seen, I've seen 3 that ran.
Maybe you should have brought your bow.
Yeah.
I'm a wildlife biologist in my day job, so I'm lucky enough to get paid to spend time in this country and see the wildlife, learn the landscape.
We both love antelope hunting, and so to come here and do this on these wide open public lands, this is going to be the greatest hunt I could ask for.
When you're a certified antelope junkie like Randy and Terry, every opportunity to put a stock on one of these sagebrush rockets is more than you could ask for.
One of the beauties of an antelope hunt is it's probably, for anybody, it is an easy on-your-own experience. You don't need guides or outfitters to come out and do this kind of stuff.
Ease of public access in this hotbed of antelope is just one of the reasons the Bureau of Land Management calls this area the land of many uses. In Wyoming alone, there are over 18 million acres supervised by the BLM.
In a hunt like this, there are so many roads that if we parked here and walked a half mile that way, we'd cross 2 roads. If we walked a half mile that way, we'd cross another road. So this is going to be a very mobile hunt where we drive to a spot, we go and glass.
The economy in south central Wyoming is supported by hunters in the fall and year-round by oil and gas exploration. And while the oil tanks and numerous dirt roads seem to litter the landscape, there are still more pronghorn bucks around these parts than anywhere else in North America.
You think there's got to be some big ones around here somewhere?
Definitely. This is too good of country.
Yeah.
A lot of people I know who come out here and do antelope hunts, they're kind of doing it as a pre-scouting measure for when they're going to come out and deer hunt or elk hunt. And the beauty is you get to come and do it in this kind of weather, and you're probably going to shoot something.
Yeah, the herds of this size don't get dominated. 1.5 and 2.5-year-old bucks. I mean, there's a herd of 50 antelope out there, and there's not a buck in there that looks to be over about 2 years old.
Well, maybe we should move on up the road.
Yeah, we go, now that they're up and moving, we go look at the next big groups, huh?
When you come out here, you're going to see just a lot of bucks in what you might say an average range, you know, just mid-sized bucks, and you're going to have to look at a whole lot of those bucks before you find something that looks a little bit better, gets you a little bit more excited maybe.
I was saying, I'm not shooting, Terry, until you give me approval. In fact, I'd hand him my bullets and say, hold these until you think it's good enough.
You know what I told you? I'd shoot an ugly one before a big one. I'm glad you have my bullets right now, because I'd be done within the first 2 hours of my hunt.
He's neat looking, but it's too early.
I'm not gonna find a cooler looking buck than that on the whole unit.
I give him the name the Joker buck.
I was trying to think, what's he look like? He looks like a joker on a deck of cards. He's really spooked. Well, that's the beauty of having an evening like this extra that we didn't count on. You can come and scout and look, and really not any pressure to shoot anything. My last morning, if he's still here, I'm shooting him.
Last day you can have some ammunition.
All right. Oh man, it's not very often that the on your own team gets to sleep in a motel. I can't believe what a luxury I had last night.
An antelope hunt is a pretty easy hunt. It's a pretty relaxing hunt. I'm staying in a motel, and I suspect most of you that would travel out west here to do an antelope hunt, you're probably going to stay in a motel. And you come here, and the culture of what these people live for is hunting, just like us. They hunt, every one of them. You walk in, you're wearing your camo or your hat, and they're like, hey, you hunting? Yeah.
You guys going hunting, or are you done hunting?
And half of them will say, well, I saw this big buck over here. You should go out there. I saw this big buck over there. And a lot of these little towns are full of character. And if you come out an antelope hunt out west here, I would suggest that you try to do it that way.
Gotta love little towns.
You can walk up to anybody and start talking about hunting, and life is good.
The only piece of private out here is that one piece out there.
This time of year in late September is the peak of the Antelope Rut. Wyoming is one of the states that lets you hunt in the peak of the rut, and they are goofy as can be. You'll see bucks chasing each other. You'll see a buck come and look at a group of does. The big buck comes and runs them off. Sometimes it isn't the big buck that controls the herd. Sometimes it's the little buck. But you can see these bucks doing all this kind of activity, and sometimes you can use that to your advantage.
He's right there with the doe right now. He might be 16. He does have good eyes on the prongs.
He's feeding broadside.
Feeding broadside. I can't shoot a guy having lunch.
We're both pretty good at judging antelope, I think, but sometimes it can be tough, and it's nice to have a second opinion.
What would you do if it was your tag?
I'd probably go over and look around a little more, but I'd probably end up coming back to him. Sometimes it's very hard to pass on a buck. You know, you see a buck and you think, man, that's a really nice buck, but the flip side is if I shoot this buck, my hunting is over, and I gotta wait another year.
If we want to, we can go around the toe of this ridge, and there's another berm right in front of us. The danger is if they move while we're out in the middle, they got us. But
Are you a gambler?
rolling the dice. Let's do it. What the heck?
When you go antelope hunting, you kind of pick what your definition of a trophy is. For a lot of people, it's just any nice buck. For some people, it's got to be a weird buck. For me, it's just, when I look at it, I say, that is the one that looks like a trophy to me. And it might not be based on scores, it might be based on something else, or it might be based on the experience of what it takes to actually go and take that buck.
That guy's coming after him again. Can you see with the scope of that thing?
Oh, I see him. Oh, man. But that's the smaller one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought that's the one. Oh, here's the other one, right below us, right below us.
Stop, buddy.
I got nothing. Which way is he going?
Is that our guy there?
Yeah, that's him. He's out there.
Dang it. He was smoking. I couldn't shoot.
He wouldn't stop.
I know, I couldn't get a shot at him. I didn't dare shoot.
Can't take that shot.
Man, that was close. Oh, man. I just didn't dare shoot when he was running like that with that other buck on his tail. No, he's just super heavy. He's got both tips broken way off. What a fighting dude. He's running way out there.
He hasn't stopped yet.
No, about a mile away. Well, let's do this. Let's drop back behind these ridges and get to the truck. Sorry, I told you we'd only go a couple 100 yards and we left our packs back there. Here we are, half mile away. And
You're gonna have to give your bullets back.
Okay, here. I'll give them to you. No, I won't. I'll keep them in my pocket.
You better keep them.
Right now, I'm feeling pretty lucky because the sun has been up every day we've been here in Wyoming. September, not always the case. Sometimes it'll snow here in September. It's been beautiful. Unfortunately, it's windy, but fortunately, it's windy. That's one of the things in Wyoming. It's windy. So deal with it and enjoy yourself.
In addition to the wild winds, the natural gas wells dotting the landscape can be an interesting factor to hunting pronghorn in this part of Wyoming.
We're gonna want to get going because they're moving. Look at that.
Oh, he's trying to round her up.
Oh, is that the deal?
Yeah, I think
He's a shooting kind of buck. Ooh, they are smoking. He's not letting her go where she wants to go, but she'll get there eventually.
yeah, he's working at trying to cut her off. Maybe they'll head back this way.
So, well, there she stopped for just a second there. I think he's on a shoot. I bet you they're going to be out in here all day.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go too far.
What do you say we do that?
A lot of people who come out antelope hunting will say, oh, if you can't shoot at least 300 yards, don't bother antelope hunting. I very seldom shoot an antelope more than 200 yards away. And whether it's broken terrain like this, whether it's vegetation, there are so many little undulations and stuff in antelope habitat that you can get within 200 yards of them. You don't need to have a rifle that's a flat shooting 500-yard thing. You don't need to think that, oh, I'm only accurate out to 200 yards, so I better not go antelope hunting. None of that that's myths in the world of antelope hunting. If you're a good hunter, you use your skills, you use the terrain and knowledge to your advantage, you're gonna get within 200 yards of an antelope every time.
There's a big herd right there.
I think that when a person comes out west for the first time, it can be very difficult to judge ranges. This is wide open country, and I still find myself having a very difficult time judging ranges.
How far do you think that is? I'm saying 45 yards.
I'd say 35. Actually, Randy and I have been testing each other, and we'll say, how far do you think that is? And we guess, and the other guy ranges it.
44 and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
And often tells us we're way off, and so I think you might want to consider bringing a rangefinder to...
What's on his back? He got a big crease on his back? Was that from fighting?
I don't know.
The gig's up now.
Nope. Nope. That's my opinion.
Yeah. He who hesitates is lost. Oh well. We'll give him a chance to get a little bit bigger.
When I don't have a tag, there's no pressure on me. It's very easy to say, oh, Randy, you don't want to shoot that buck, and Randy's kicking me, saying, are you sure? I might not see a bigger buck, but that's all part of the fun,
Dang it, I got that brush right in my way.
He's a decent buck, but I think we've seen bigger.
Really? Boy, he looks heavy.
He is pretty heavy. Let him, hopefully he'll turn sideways.
Yeah. Boy, buddy, if Terry gave me the okay, you're in trouble.
Most people think of Antelope Terrain as just this pancake flat kind of terrain that you're going to be hunting them in. And there's a lot of that in this unit. There's a lot of flat sage.
He's not bad. I've seen better.
Have you found one that's good yet? You're always, not bad, not bad. I think he looks pretty good. I'm gonna see how close I can get to him.
This is my first antelope hunt with Randy, and I hope it's not my last, because we have a really similar hunting style. We like doing it ourselves. We like getting out and looking at a lot of antelope.
What do you think we are now? 50, 55? Yeah, 52 yards.
We're not in a hurry to get it over with. We like looking over a lot of animals. We're a little bit picky, maybe.
The wind is right at our back.
But it's because we enjoy it so much, and we don't want it to be over the first day. We want to have that full experience. We want to say that we went out, we did our best, we looked at a lot of animals.
It's 21 yards.
It's the closest I've ever been.
In rifle season, the only time I got that close to an antelope was a dead antelope. Wyoming needs a slingshot season if they're gonna let you get that close to them.
I guess so.
Oh my goodness. What do you think, Terry? He doesn't look that great, does he?
I think you might have a broken prong on one
A
side.
broken prong?
Yeah, I think so.
Number 286 of the day. Or somewhere close to
Are you
that.
sure?
Okay, number 285. Maybe I overcounted. Look at him standing there. I want to find one where you're going to let me have a bullet.
Wyoming has millions and millions of acres of public land. Those of you who want to come antelope hunting in Wyoming need to go to their website, Wyoming Game and Fish, and it talks about how you acquire tags here. If there's one thing about applying in Wyoming, there really are no secrets about where the good places are to hunt. Go to the draw odds, and the hunts with the lowest odds are going to be the units that have the most public land and the best quality of animals. And if you say, I only want a trophy unit, apply for the ones with the lowest draw odds. If you say, I just want to go hunting, look at any of them and say, okay, is there public land there? I'm going hunting because I got a really good chance of drawing this tag.
Can you make out what he has, Terry? Oh, man, he's got good prongs.
Yeah, he's not real tall though.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't know, Terry. He just got some lunker prongs on him.
I don't think he's gonna stick around.
No, he's moving now. Well, I guess it's too late at this point, isn't it?
He's gone.
You don't think he was big enough?
Let's go find another one.
He gets to live to see another day.
If you look at the success rates for antelope hunting in Wyoming, most of the units run 90% or higher. And the majority of those people are not guided. They're going out and doing it themselves. That's right down through that fence there, see him?
Right there? Oh, I see him. Why is he hanging out here at this place?
I don't know. But you know, we could use that to our advantage if we just snuck down along this fence.
Yeah?
And waited for him to come out down there. He
Right
wouldn't,
over that ridge?
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to hear us or smell us.
You know, one of the things that's been hard for me in this unit is to get accustomed to all the oil and gas activity, and I'm somewhat torn between it because I know we as a society need this natural gas. But I look at what this does to habitat. Roads in this part of Wyoming are just part of what you're going to deal with. Don't think of it as a wilderness experience because it's not going to be. But it is what it is, and I don't know what to do about it other than continue to be an advocate for the deer and the elk and the antelope. But it's going to be a fun hunt. It's going to be something anybody can do, and you come out and do it and you're going to have a blast. I can guarantee that.
So where this buck was located, we didn't know if it would be a good spot to stalk. We had a lot of odors there, a lot of wind.
Right there. Yeah.
And we had a lot of noise off to our left, and which sometimes made it even difficult to talk to each other in a quiet tone of voice because we couldn't hear each other.
See this black barrel, this close one that says eating on it or whatever? Once we get past that, he's going to be able to see us.
We should probably just be patient. We should just be patient. Ultimately, it worked to our advantage, and we were able to sneak down along this fence and get really close to this buck, actually.
I feel like I'm hunting in the inner city of New York or something.
And as that buck was coming through, my heart is just going boom, 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 boom.
What do you see of him?
He's got pretty good mass above the prongs. What's he look like to you?
Huh?
What's he look like to you?
Good.
A lot of people hear us talk about high fence hunting and how we don't do that. And here we are, we're hunting next to a really high fence, all right? And we're using it to our advantage. Normally, a big buck antelope is not going to let you come out in an open flat and drop down a hill towards him. It just doesn't happen.
Is he wounded or what?
Yeah, he's limping.
Limping. 130 yards.
What do you think?
I think I want to shoot him.
I think you should.
I want a better broadside shot. Come on, buddy. Come on. Dang it. There you go. He's looking at you now.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Ready?
Yep. You got him.
Huh?
You got him. Nice shot.
There he goes.
Woo! I was pretty impressed with Randy for deciding that he wanted to shoot that buck because he was wounded, you know.
You see something like that, and I probably was going to shoot that buck regardless of size once I saw that he was dealing with what he was as far as that injury on his leg.
You know, we spotted him pretty darn close to the road, and I almost feel bad about that, but in this country there's so many roads.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to work. And